There we are. Can you all see me? It's really dark. What? All right. Can you see me? Hello. Hello, everybody. Adventures. Hi, Donnie. Hi, everybody. Hi, Donnie.
Right, you're sticking your finger right over the lens.
Really, right there? Is that the lens?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So the reason why it's so dark, 30 people in here, beautiful. So the reason why it's so dark, everybody, is that I'm doing what is it called?
Gong Fu Cha Tea.
Gong Fu Cha Tea tradition. I am here with Adriana, obviously, but her son, Eddie, came to visit, and he's doing a tea tradition for the four of us. And since this is a communal friendship type of thing, it's not a formal ceremony, it's a friendship thing they do. Uh, that I thought everybody would, I'd like to invite you all to join me for it. So
We are at the West.
we are at the West China Tea House in Austin, Texas. Here, let me show you if I can tilt the camera. So those are the teas. These are the teas right there, which you can barely see because it's kind of dark. We can probably turn the light up a little bit, right? We're going to try to turn the light up a little bit. It's not going to affect anything, but we want to get a little bit of light here. So don't anybody go just because the picture is dark. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, we got a huge announcement coming up in 2 days. The biggest announcement of my disc golf career I am making on Tuesday. So I hope everybody tunes back in because this is if you follow anything I do, this is the biggest news I've ever had. Thank you. I'm not just blowing this up and going to let you down. It is the biggest thing I've ever done by a lot. And it's happening. I'll be announcing it Tuesday. So actually, while we're chatting, wait, is there a way to keep the light on? Do you know how to light? So if anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to shoot over questions or comments or anything you want. The man, the myth, the legend. That just means the man, the myth, the old. Hey, Scott, love the video. It's been helping me out a lot, especially at distance. That's cool. And look, every time someone tells me my videos are helping, it makes me super duper happy because that's why I'm doing it. I mean, I'm monetizing the videos now because I do my classes and stuff like that. But I was putting up videos for a long time without making any money off it. I just wanted to help people out. So I do enjoy it. I enjoy the making money part too, but that's not what got me into it. When I started teaching, there was no money. If you are if the announcement, you're going to win a Pro Tour event this year. Oh, shh, that's a secret. Don't spoil that. I have every intention of winning on the Pro Tour this year. I'm not going out there for participation ribbons. I'm going out there to win. But no, the big announcement coming Tuesday is sick. It is I'm telling you guys, it is the coolest, biggest thing I've ever done. And if y'all are behind me, I'm basically counting on the entire my disc golf world, my people to, I'm counting on you guys to be a part of this thing. Everybody that wants to be a part of this is going to get to actually be a part of this. But I can't tell you anymore. Hey, do y'all want to hear some news? Oh, here we go. How do you deal with getting a blood blister on your index finger when you're throwing? Really? No. All right. So here's the deal. You have to you don't want to throw it till it explodes, but you want to just keep throwing until you build up a callus on it. What you can do, because if you just throw with the blood blister on there, it can get worse, and then you can't throw because it hurts and it kind of sucks. But if you put tape on it, get that white tape from Walgreens, the medical tape, and then you can throw. But don't just play with tape the rest of your life. Then when it gets a little bit better, take the tape off. Thank you. Take the tape off, play a little bit. If it gets bad, put the tape back on, but eventually you'll develop a callus. Oops. Eventually you're going to develop a callus from doing that. So that's probably about the only solution. It's there's not an immediate solution other than taping it up. Hey, what's up, Chili? What's up, everybody? Hey, if you have any questions, shoot them over. If you want, you guys, I'd be happy to share some pretty cool news with you that we'll be talking about in the vlog tomorrow. This is not the big news. This is like not even close to the big news, but this is still really cool news. So I got asked by a filmmaker, a production company filmmaker in Hungary to play the lead in a, this is so, my life is so weird, but I'm going to be playing the lead in a feature film, a Hungarian feature film that I believe they're going to go probably, hopefully as soon as October, they're going to be ready to start shooting. But he basically wrote a part kind of around me and me in mind, and there's going to be some disc golf aspects to it even. That's not the big news. That's just how weird things are. So I'm going to be going over to Hungary for about a month to shoot a film. It's too weird. Said not old, just wise. Oh, you're so sweet if you say I'm not old. It's not, I am old. Like, I guess I'm not old depending on who you compare me to. If you compare me to somebody older, I'm not. But if you compare me to 88% of the people alive on planet Earth, I'm old.
Compare you to Stork, you're a spring chicken.
Yeah, compared to my friends Stork and Tita and all my like old friends from growing up, I'm a spring chicken. But compared to all the players on tour, I am old enough to be their great grandfather. And then I still beat them once in a while. Did I watch any of the All-Star Weekend? I did not. I did 4 clinics this weekend.
Why were they miserable though? I need to know.
What?
He says they were miserable. Why were they miserable?
Wait, you have post why they were miserable. I didn't hear anything about that. Legs aren't matching with the time of the upper body. Any suggestions? All right, so yes, of course, I always have suggestions, especially when I get caffeine in my system from this beautiful, what kind of tea is it?
Sticky rice.
It's sticky rice tea.
Is it caffeine?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of caffeine. You have to throw slower. You have to build out the timing at a pace where you can make the timing work, and then you incrementally increase from there. So if you're trying to go full speed, timing is very difficult. You slow things down until you get the timing right. I'm not just using this as a platform to sell you something, but since you asked, I have an online class called Become a Complete Disc Golfer. It's at scottstokely.net/Discord. That is where I have a step-by-step process to building up timing, building up the entire throw, backhand, sidearm, putting, everything from the ground up. The class is not just videos to watch. It's an interactive class where you're going to be posting videos of you throwing. There's going to be online form reviews I have 3 trainers that work for me that are amazing. So we'll give you a step-by-step process where you'll do step 1, make sure everything's in the right position before you move to step 2. You'll be posting videos to make sure you get it right, and then increasing from there. Like, that is the most effective. AJ writes, no way, dude, that's awesome. I imagine you'd be like a 007, but with discs. Okay, so it's a funny story about that. It's actually kind of funny because he has been the director. I told him, I said, look, I'm not an actor. I'm certainly not a professional. I said, I'm like really excited. Of course, I want to be a star in a film, right? I said, but if you just give me lines and a character to play, there's a really good chance that I just butcher it because I'm not a professional actor. And I said, if we want this to have a chance of succeeding, I go, I need to be involved in the character, but also the dialogue. Like, it needs to be words I would speak, or else I don't think I could pull it off. Like, that's a talent I don't think I have. And he says, oh, I'm excited about that. Let's collaborate back and forth on it. And his initial, I'm not going to tell you anything about the film, but in the initial thing he sent, I was kind of going to be a bit of a badass. Not John Wick badass, but like, kind of a badass. And I told him I didn't think I could pull that off. Not the type of badass we're talking about. I said, I I think that character would probably work better if he's kind of failed a little bit and is damaged. Maybe he's aged out of being a badass, right? But I didn't think the badass thing worked. Like the 007 character, like, come on, Sean Connery. I wish I could pull off Sean Connery or Roger Moore, but I can't. And I sent him some ideas. Thank you. And he really loved it. He liked the idea of me doing something that seemed more in line with me, which is like, you know, maybe I used to be cool at one point, but maybe I'm aging out of the coolness factor a little bit. But I could play that character. Hey, if y'all are tuning in, it rained. Oh, it rained constantly at the All-Stars. Oh man, I'm so glad I turned down my invitation because they asked me right away. They said, "Oh, we can't. How can we do an All-Stars without you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm afraid it might rain. I can't make it." Does anybody believe that?
And we're thankful that nobody voted for you either.
Oh, that's right. You had to. Oh, you had to vote for the All-Stars.
Well, for the chase card, I think you were on the ballot for the chase card.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Well, I was on the ballot though.
Yeah.
Okay. Neat. Well, neat. Well, I'm happy. Hey, I'm just happy to have been nominated, as the saying goes. Oh, random question, but just out of curiosity, what are some of your favorite bands? In my opinion, there's only two bands that exist in the world. One is Guar, and the other is D'Antwood. I think that I like performance art with my music. No, my musical tastes are not very broad. I like old school punk, and I like Broadway musicals. Pretty much nothing in between. And by the way, I only listened to punk and hardcore punk for a big portion of my life. And about 10 years ago, I got dragged kicking and screaming to Hairspray, the new version of Hairspray. I'm not going to see this movie. And go see Hairspray. I mean, the John Waters version, maybe not the remake. Come on. Anyways, I went to go see Hairspray, and I was mesmerized the whole time. Like, I could not believe how amazing it was to like weave this song into the story, and every musical number pushed the plot forward. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then next thing you know, I went down a rabbit hole, and now I've been to like tons of musicals. And I like musicals and girls, so it's kind of a what's the word, dichotomy. I like Broadway musicals. I like Broadway musicals and girls, but I do. Yeah, and then but of course I also still like my old school punk. I just went to the punk museum in Las Vegas, and it was sick. But yeah, I love the questions though. You're sad I didn't make it to any of my clinics this weekend. Yeah, that would have been cool. I wish that. Well, I'll be around again. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Michael, you said you wanted to go to my clinic at Nanny, but you couldn't get your shift covered. Okay, let me put this out there for anybody watching live and anybody who watches the recorded version. Anytime you want to do something disc golf related and your boss won't let you, give me their phone number. Let me call them. I promise you will not be asked to go to work that day.
Might
Right?
never be asked to go back to work at all.
You'll never be asked to go. But no, I will simply explain to your boss, this is his or her job. This is not what matters to them. They are not coming to work today because there's something that matters more than you. And then hopefully you don't get fired. Oh my God, someone just sent, and then I just got $10 from Vandy. What? Yeah. No, thank you for the, what's it called? Super chat?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Vandy Z28. Wow, just for me giving advice on how to deal with a boss that won't let you take time off. Am I playing Idlewild this year? I am probably playing Idlewild. So I have a tour card that qualified me for a bunch of Silver Series events, a bunch of events. I was able to get into the Champions Cup based on my rating, which is really, I'm kind of blown away by. But I do have to register online for Idlewild. But with my 1017 rating, I'm going to be in the first wave, so I should almost certainly get in. I'm trying to. My plan is to be there. That course killed me last time, and I freaking loved that course. That was such a great course, one of my favorites, and it just beat the crap out of me.
Is that the one that they take down?
Yes. Want me to tell them the story?
Talk about it.
I am going to tell you all a story about Idlewild. So after Idlewild, so Idlewild it's outside of Cincinnati, and it's it's an absolute masterpiece of a challenging pro course. And I found out later that it's actually, I believe, 27 holes, and they kind of pull 9 of the baskets, and then like combined holes together. But it just makes for these great holes, and they move a couple things around. But basically, the course at Idlewild is a championship course of the highest caliber. And I'm walking around the tournament afterwards with I think it was the tournament director maybe, and someone from the parks department. And I said, yeah, this course is really great and it's amazing. And one of them said, I think the person in the parks department, but one of them said, yeah, we only leave it up like 2 weeks a year for the tournament. And I'm like, wait, why would you only leave it up 2 weeks a year? And he says, yeah, well, because it's much too hard. It's not very family friendly. And I said, hold on a second. I go, how many courses do you have in Cincinnati? And he says, we have 67. And I go, you can have 66 family friendly courses and leave up Idlewild. Like, not only is it great to have a championship level course, I said, look, this is a course that you should leave up in its current format. And then all the players in Cincinnati, or for all over the world for that matter, can come to Cincinnati. They can go play the championship course and they can see just how good they are, or how good they thought they were until they played that course, because they can compare their scores against the pros. Like, you have 66 family friendly courses. Like, if you only have one course and it's Idlewild in your city, yeah, you probably want to make it easier. But like, I love that place. And I wish they would leave the course up all the time, because it's a masterpiece. Like, if you get a chance to play that course, it's so hard. It's evil. It's championship layout. Like, here's what I like about that course. No matter how good you're shooting, you get to the last couple holes and it can just destroy. It can just rip your heart right out of your gut. Like, wow, I'm having a really good round, or at least I was 6 minutes ago. But I think I like that. I like that when it's, seems cool. Hey, if you're tuning in late, we're doing not a tea ceremony, a tea tradition at a tea house in Austin. It's China Tea House in Austin. I'm here with Adriana, who's monitoring the computer in the comments, Kenju, our cameraman, and her son Eddie, who came to visit us for a couple of days, who's running this tea tradition for everybody. So this is, you can't really see it too well, but there's the teapot, there's the tea that's all set up. But it's the lighting of the room, so it's a tradition, but it's a good one.
Ambiance.
Yes, just ambiance. Looking forward to the Beaver Fling. Me too. One of my favorite holes is out there. That hole, I'm trying to remember what the name of that hole is at Milo. I think it's called the Scott Stokely hole. No, it's the hole that Scott Stokely once played that Philo got an albatross on one time. I think that's the name of the hole. What? Everybody's just laughing at me. No, I can't wait to go out to. I love Portland. I make a lot of jokes when I'm traveling about Portland, because the West Coast is. I love it. I love it everywhere, but the West Coast is a little bit weird these days, and so I had a lot of fun. But I love Portland always. Am I planning on coming up to Florida this year? I don't have plans to go to Florida. I'll make it to Florida at some point, but no plans to. My schedule's basically stuck. What do I think of Lake Havasu? I actually had to skip out on you coming to Quail Ridge to go to that area, and good say, what a beautiful community, beautiful area. Yeah, Lake Havasu is a cool course. Lake Havasu, okay, so check this out. This is one of the reasons why disc golf is such a cool sport, is that you can't do anything with that land other than maybe dirt bike trails, maybe a Jeep trail or something like that. Like it's not land that's good for anything. There's no trees, nothing. And yet, with a little bit of creativity, the Lake Havasu Club and the person, I don't want to get the name wrong or give credit to the wrong person, but the Lake Havasu disc golf community put in a disc golf course, and it's amazing piece of amazing work with the land that they had available to them. So they took the desert. Everything's elevated up and down hills. They put a bunch of artificial OB in, which you need to when there's no trees. they cut paths out of the ground. So instead of walking on rocks, if you want to get to the hole, there's a beautiful path lined with rocks. A player went out there and did sculptures, not sculptures, but just did art with rocks, rock art. Go to my Instagram or my Facebook page and just go back like a few weeks to Lake Havasu, and you're going to see all this amazing rock art that this person did just by being creative. And it's like it's the coolest example of taking something and just making beauty out of something that would otherwise just be a side of a hill for our sport. Kendra says we need toboggan up full time though. Yeah, same idea. Like I don't know if they're able to get that, but it's like it's a shame when these courses come down. I mean,
The barrier for toboggan is the mowing.
is it the mowing
It
for
costs
toboggan?
$5,000 to mow it once.
Costs $5,000 to mow toboggan.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be hard. So that's different than Idlewild because they're doing it anyways just for the 27-hole layout.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love toboggan. I think that's a great course. Did I get yourself to Beulah? Tim needs some pro testing for the course. I don't think I'm going to make Colorado, but I've known Tim forever, and Tim's one of the bestest people. I don't know, one of the bestest people out there. But him and Tim and Leanne I've known for like 30 years. They have a beautiful private course in Beulah, Colorado that I hope they're wildly successful with. That's good.
So what do you think? Are we ready to move on to the next one?
Sure. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask that.
All right. You got to play Winthrop all the time. It gets a good perspective on how much better the pros are. Yeah, like I get a perspective on how much better the pros are than me.
Our video that's coming out will be good with that too.
With what?
With perspective of how good the current pros are.
Mhm.
Because you get to see me right next to Mason throwing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. We have a couple of videos coming out. We did. I can go ahead and share it because people will still want to watch the video.
Yeah, I was on Thursday.
Yeah, so check it out. We just shot a video with Mason Ford, me, Kendrew, and Mason. And we did, you all ready for this? We actually conducted a scientific experiment to determine whether or not saying nice while the disc is in flight affects it hitting a tree. And we went out there, we got a total of 120 throws, not a huge sample size, but not a small sample size, 40 throws each. But thank you. But here's the thing. Even though it was a goofy video, we were goofing off, we were having a good time, but we did the science right. We randomized the nice calls with a random number generator that we didn't even push until the disc was in mid-flight before saying nice or not saying anything. And we kept track of basically whether or not there was a higher percentage of times that the disc hit a tree when nice was spoken. Just a percentage of throws. But we had almost around 60 throws that the word nice was spoken and 60 throws that the nice was not spoken. Again, a fairly decent sample size done correctly. And here's what happened. Should I spoil it?
Yeah, spoiler.
I'll go ahead and spoil it for you guys.
Deserve.
You guys tuned in. I'm going to spoil give the results for you, but we have a whole video coming out. Yeah, share the video. Share the video when it goes up, which is going to go up in a couple days, or I don't want to, but soon. So here's what happened. When nothing was spoken, that's good. When nothing was spoken, when the disc was in the air, a tree was hit 32% of the time. When the word nice was spoken, when the disc was in the air, the disc hit a tree 59% of the time, or 57% of the time. It is a deviation from the mean that is statistically highly unlikely. Based on probabilities, it's about 1.7 out of every 10,000 times will you get a deviation that far from what would be predicted, which would have been, obviously this is silly, nice doesn't affect the flight. So but the data shows that it does. But the data also shows that, thank you, that also shows that unlikely things do also happen all the time. That's the way probabilities work. It's just the fact that we got one. And here's the best part of all. The whole thing is on video. So we are going to post on my Discord server the complete unedited version of the whole day. That way, you know, even though it's just a statistical anomaly, that's obviously what I believe. But nonetheless, you're going to see that the whole thing was recorded, how it was recorded, and that those are the actual numbers we got with a sample size of 120. So stupid. Would you, pickleball? Would you or have you played pickleball, the hottest new sport since disc golf? I mean, yeah. I mean, I would play anything, but I played all different sports growing up. I played baseball till I was 19 years old. But what?
It's a good vlog episode.
Yeah, we'll do a vlog episode where I'll play pickleball and get a torn ACL. No, I think it's a cool sport.
You'll be the young guy.
I'll be the young guy out there.
Yeah.
Didn't know there's like young, super athletic people playing pickleball now. It's not just an old person sport anymore. Like
It's mainly old person sport.
it's growing into the mainstream though.
Yeah, but it's mainly old people still.
Mainly an old people sport. Yeah, of course. Building on that, have I ever played in a vineyard? Paso Robles has one you would love. You know, it's funny. I went to Paso Robles and we had dinner there.
Yeah. We had a really,
If that's the one out in California, we had a really nice dinner out on a patio, but we didn't have time to golf. But we went out there to eat. Have I ever played in a vineyard? Have I ever played in a vineyard?
Not that I know.
I don't recall. So I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Should run a Halloween themed.
Yep. Am I playing 303 Open? I'm not. My schedule is posted, but it's basically set, and the weekends off I have are the weekends that I need off. But I'm basically playing the whole tour. The only ones I'm missing, I missed the chess.com, missing Music City. I'm missing the Preserve because we're going to go canoe the Boundary Waters that week. Yeah, so, but other than that, I think I'm playing all the events. So, anybody have any questions? Let's see. Mason taught you how to throw down in the RGV. Yeah, when you watch Mason throw, it's really it's infuriating how good he is. Like if I didn't have a sidearm, like he would smoke me 100 times out of 100. Fortunately, I have a sidearm, so I could be competitive against him. He's better than me, but I think based on ratings, he's about 2 strokes ahead of me. So he's definitely better than me, but not completely out of reach. I'll give him a run for his money this year a couple times.
That's the next video.
Yeah. Should we just start shouting random words until it helps the flight? It's possible. See, we haven't done a test to see what would happen if you said other things. Like if you said orange monkey credenza.
Should we do a whole video?
Yeah.
Disc golf science? Like a whole series?
Yeah, we'll do it. Redo the experiment, but say, oh no. Like we are going to redo the experiment for sure. Mainly because I need to show that look, it's science. We did it correctly. The data we reported accurately. I happen to believe that we'll get a different result next time, that it'll regress to the mean. The larger the numbers you have, that's what's supposed to happen.
I have a lot of footage of you saying very similar things.
Yes.
In the video.
I didn't say don't post it. I own it, but I need to make sure that all my science nerd fans, and pretty much I'm a science nerd, and half the people following me are science nerds, and y'all have to understand that I don't think nicing affects the disc. I think that 1.7 times out of every 10,000 something statistically unlikely is that happens. And we happen to catch one of those on video, which is gold for content.
We caught 120 of those on video.
Which is almost
Have I played Morley?
like more significant than
No,
because stuff like that doesn't normally get captured. So
no, you don't normally capture stuff like that. So yeah, the fact that it's on the video. Yeah, of course I've played Morley. I've played Morley a ton. There's a shot of me throwing a disc at Morley at the beginning of my documentary, or the one Kendra shot, but the documentary about me, not just a shot. Kendra's documentary that all about the most. I think it's called Not Just a Shot, the journey of the most handsome man in disc golf. I think that was the name.
Technically, I am in it for like 5 frames.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw, and you added that
Is there an
later.
Easter egg in
I stuck myself in
No,
there.
I saw it. I caught that. It's
Yeah.
really good. But anyways, I'm throwing that course when I'm 13 years old, like 1982. No, I think I was 14, 1983. Yeah. Of course, I played Morley.
What number course is Morley?
But number course, Morley may be the third course in the world. It's one of the courses vying for the title third course in the world. The short story is, if you haven't heard this, is that the first course was definitely Oak Grove Park in Pasadena, California. The second course, 90% chance, was La Mirada. Thank you. Was La Mirada in Los Angeles. But the third course is uncertain. You see, that's good.
Is that what we're drinking?
Yep.
Uncertainty.
What?
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. We are drinking uncertainty. So those are the first 2 courses, probably La Mirada. But the third course
That's
was
probably Schrodinger's favorite type of tea.
the third course. It is. I just killed a cat when I drank that tea, but we won't know for sure that that's what happened because right now the cat's still alive.
I hope you're ready because this tea goes on for like 11 more stews.
Okay. Anyways, but the third course, Ed was started going to parks and rec shows, and he would sell courses. But then someone might have bought the course third, but he didn't show up to actually design the course until 8th. We don't know what the third course was, and it's even debatable. Even if we had the data, it's by what metric? Was it the course sold? Course went in the ground? So there's about 15 or so courses that can be considered one of the third courses in the world. Brahms Springs, Ken Carroll in Denver, Morley Field is one of them. Honey Bear in Peru. Ooh, yeah, I got a funny story for y'all. So Honey Bear turns out was actually might be the third disc golf course ever. It's in Peru, Indiana, and I didn't realize, but apparently it's on private land, and it always has been. It used to be like a Yogi Bear campground, I think, or something like that, and they I don't know, got rid of that franchise, called it Honey Bear. Anyways, the owners decided just recently that they were going to take the piece of land where the third disc golf course possibly in the world is and turn it into a nudist colony. And not only is it a nudist colony, they're leaving the course up. So
now went from being the maybe third course to definitely the first.
yes,
co-ed naked disc golf.
yes, it was maybe the first course. Now it's the first nude co-ed disc golf naked course in the world. It's actually great because embraces the tradition of old school frisbee golf in every measurable way. This is good too. Anyways, yeah. So if you want to play naked disc golf on what is possibly the third course in the world, it's in Peru, Indiana, called Honey Bear.
We're going to be near St. Louis, but not playing.
Yeah, I'll be near St. Louis, but probably not playing it. I think I'm playing the tournament, Kansas City Wide Open, which I know that's not St. Louis, but it's close. Peoria, Illinois, also. Hello, Scott. You are a pioneer and a legend and handsome. I think it reads that right.
Just your
I don't know. My glasses, I think pioneer, legend, and I don't see handsome in there, but I saw it a minute ago. I'm sure it's there. Your first tournament was Wintertime Open '93. That's cool, man. Hey, the first tournament, the first PDJ Open tournament I ever won was the Wintertime Open in '87. That's old. In case you're wondering, that's actual evidence that 1987 did in fact exist. Dude, didn't you check out the City Museum last time we were in St. Louis? Yeah, we actually went to the City Museum when we were in St. Louis. Actually, the person pouring the tea, Adriana's son, Eddie, was with me and Adriana at the City Museum. It was epic. Like, we were there for hours, and I think we saw like 20% of it. Thank you. I can't believe all my frisbee golf friends from all over the world are joining me in a tea tradition.
This is an easy question.
Which one?
Yes.
Easy question. If you were to tour with other disc golfers, who would it be? So I am touring with another disc golfer, Kendrew Mueller, who is the cameraman who is filming us for the next 8 months. 85% of it for my YouTube channel, 15% for my OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. For all those people that are just dying to see a 55-year-old disc golfer naked. No, Kendrew is the first guy I've ever toured with. My whole life, and I've been touring for years and years and years. Most of the time I toured, but it was always with a girl who I was dating at the time. There's been a couple. Is that a nice way to put it?
No, couple is 2.
A couple would be
So
2.
it's at least a few.
It's okay. Janice says that just means 2. So let's say a few. I've toured with a few girls. And what's funny though is when I was touring single, I had way more girlfriends while I was touring single than I did touring with somebody. But Kendrew is a really, really solid disc golfer who's going to be getting a lot better this year because he's going to be traveling and playing a lot. Who is the filmmaker? He made the documentary, Not Just a Shot, and he's doing the vlog and all the content. He's also going to be filming the huge announcement. If you just tuned in, I have the biggest announcement of my entire life is tomorrow, Tuesday night.
Monday if you're in the Discord.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you go to discord.com, you'll get the announcement. Thank you. You'll get the announcement on Monday. If you join my Discord server, thank you. scottstokely.com/Discord. No. Thank you. scottstokely.net/Discord.
That's right, you're still new, you'll figure it out.
Thank you. You enjoyed the nose down push putt video instructions and great, and so is the camera work. There you go. That's a shout out to Kendrew.
Yep.
Yeah, there he goes.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yep, he says thank you.
I did say thank you.
Not Just a Shot was a great watch. Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, this is
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to work on. I'm glad you liked it. Anyways, I had to take the limelight for a second.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was super fun to work on.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad that you guys have all enjoyed it.
Yes.
All of the nice things you say go a long ways. I appreciate it.
Yep. Just don't say too many nice things because as of right now, we can still afford to hire him to travel with us.
But we just bought a van because the size of his head is inflating.
Yeah. We actually just bought a tour van yesterday. A brand new Sprinter van to tour, not to sleep in or anything. It's just because we need a tour van. Thank you. And we had to get a van because of Kendrew's head is getting so big.
They're asking about the order of courses. So
So by the way, here's the problem with Kendrew's head's getting big. And Kendrew can answer off camera, but as far as your head getting big,
Yep.
has anybody paid more compliments to you in the last year than me?
Probably not.
Yeah, so I'm kind of responsible for making his head big. Yeah, Huntington Beach is possibly the third course ever, along with those others. So HB is I don't want to say 100%. I'm 99% sure that it's on that list. When did Silmar go in? Silmar was very early, but it's not one of the first. I don't want to get that wrong. Can you look up? Hold on a minute. Can you look up Eric Vanderbos? There's a message. What?
my phone is over there.
Oh. Or not Did I say Vanderbos? Eric Vanderberg. On my Facebook, there's a link to the list of potential third courses, and I'll give you. Clear Lake, I'm not sure about. I'm gonna. I have the list that I did compile, but the person I think who's probably the authority on this, Eric Vanderberg. I got the list from him, so I'll just go quote this. We're asking about Huntington Beach, or maybe I could just read them out. Some of these courses aren't even there anymore. They were in the ground, but nobody knew what frisbee golf was in 1977, so they just got pulled, and now they're just part of history. By the way, as I always say, okay, you want to see the list? Here, I'm going to read the list of possible. Here's the list of possible number 3 courses. Huntington Beach, Las Vegas Park in Nevada, Beaver Brook Campground in Maine, Wilmette in Wilmette, Illinois, Minnehaha. That's a great name, Minnehaha. Minnehaha Park in Minneapolis, Theodore Wirth Park in Minneapolis, Brommer Park in Minneapolis, Tenny Mountain in Plymouth, Lost Valley Ski Area in Spring Grove, Illinois, Peru KOA in Peru, Indiana, which I think that's probably the one that became Honey Bear, which is now a nudist colony. So you can play naked co-ed disc golf on the possibly 3rd course. Park West Ski Area in Park City, Utah. City of Huntsville in Huntsville, Alabama. I believe that's Brom Springs, if I'm not mistaken. Craigmure Ski Area in Newfoundland, New Jersey. Wait, Newfoundland, New Jersey? Only in New Jersey. Sandy Beach Park in Tempe, Arizona. Leonard Park in Mount Kisco, New York. Oak and Spruce in Lenox, Massachusetts. Balboa Park in San Diego, California. That would be Morley Field. Mobile, Pensacola KOA in Mobile, Alabama. I think that might be Chickasaw now. Thunder Rock in Rockville, Illinois. And there's Jug End in the Berkshires and South Egret, Massachusetts. So those are the courses that are all vying for the number 2 course to go in the ground. Oak Grove first, La Mirada probably second. By the way, if anybody needs relationship advice, I am definitely the person to ask. So, hey, Randy Lama says, I'm in line at In-N-Out, but I'll order iced tea. I don't even know why that's funny, but it's funny. Did I ever play Horning's Hideout west of Portland? Wheeled rim baskets. Thank you. I did not. Oops.
Was that one of the baskets at Jeff's place?
Which ones?
Oh, the ones
There was
that
a
we,
tire.
there was a
around it.
tire one. That was in the backyard.
That says wheel rim.
Yeah, that wasn't a rim.
No, that was a tire. So no, good. That's a good catch though.
Okay.
All right. You saw a handwritten ledger of ads that listed the courses installed in Pueblo as 3rd, but it doesn't mean it was installed in the order you wrote it on this. Oh, this is Tim Anderson. What's up, Tim? Yeah, so Pueblo, and I apologize. When I said Ken Carroll in Denver, I was mistaken. I meant Pueblo. Pueblo may have been the 3rd course, but it's not on the list because, yeah, it was very confusing. Ed didn't keep the best records on top of everything else.
On top of everything else.
Yeah, Ed was an interesting fellow, just to say the least. He was a very interesting guy. The thing is, it's funny because people were like, "No way, you knew Ed Hedrick." It's like back then, we all knew each other because there weren't that many of us. Thank you. Is it already? Oh, we can post. We can do.
No, it's 9:30.
We can go.
We have half an hour.
We can go late tomorrow on the posting. We'll do that. We'll push it back to the blog post or something.
Okay.
So don't worry about it. Anyways, yeah. So Ed was an interesting guy. We all knew Ed. Everybody loved Ed. We didn't all like him at the times, but we all loved him. He was part of our family. Ed is the first person on the Mount Rushmore of disc golf. Hands down, end of discussion. Ed's number 1 on the Mount Rushmore. But he was an interesting guy. That's all I can say. What are my favorite top 3 courses in the U.S.? All right, so you want favorite courses. Okay, number 1, it's easy. It's Oak Grove Park. For sure, Oak Grove Park in Pasadena, California. That's my home. If I have a home, it's Oak Grove. It's the world's first course. Is where I grew up playing. That's number 1. Number 2 has to be Eagles Crossing because that's one of the greatest courses I've ever played, and obviously it's a very special, important part of my life. And I would say the number 3 course God, there's so many good ones. So this could change at any given time. But I'll just say Caliber Disc Golf in Sandpoint, Idaho, as my number 3 course. There's a bunch of number 3s, but I'll go ahead and if you push me to choose 3 in the U.S., I'll say Caliber is number 3. What is the one course that all different disc golfers should play if given that chance? I mean, it's Oak Grove. It's Oak Grove Park. You know, it's not the greatest course in the world. Like, it was put in a really small park. Half the trees, a lot of the trees, not half, but a lot of the trees have died. It's just a recreational park course. It's very easy. It's short, but that's where it all began. So it's like that should be a pilgrimage everybody should play, because you get to go to where it all started. I mean, but here's basically what happened, and there's a great story Dan Roddick told about this. But they introduced disc golf at the World Championships, and Ed got a park that would let him put poles up in the ground for the course, which is Oak Grove Park. And at that time, literally every single person that played knew each other. All the players that were in the IFA, which is a small organization, came out to this tournament. Like Dan Roddick said, the first 200 people in the PDJ, all 200 people on that list knew all 200 people in the PDJ. It's just a club. And there was like this revolutionary moment that happened because the tournament was that day at Oak Grove. The next day, Dan Roddick and Mark Horn went out to the course to play around, and there were people on the course they didn't know. They had seen the tournament, they had watched it, and they came out to give it a try. And it was this moment where there were people that weren't part of this little club who were also playing. It's a monumental moment in the history of our sport. As silly and insignificant as that sounds, it was incredibly significant. You know, here's what it reminds me of. I mean, it's not, their story's better than mine, but I had a moment like that about 5 years ago where I was somewhere in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. I was out to dinner on this patio at this restaurant. And I'm sitting on the patio with Bruce Sisson, Adriana and me, and the waiter comes by and he stops and he sees me. He says, "Hey, oh my God, everybody, we have a celebrity here." Now, at this point in disc golf, that's not that uncommon. I get that actually quite a bit. I get that at airports now every time I go to an airport. So it's neat. That's not the weird part. Here's the weird part about it. He said, "Hey, we have a celebrity here, everybody. Oh, cool. Hey, everybody, it's Scott Stokely. Wow, I can't believe Scott Stokely's in our restaurant. Oh, that's really cool." And da. And I started talking to him. I said, "Cool, how long have you been playing disc golf?" And he says, "Oh, I've actually never tried it, but it looks like fun. I'm thinking about giving it a try someday." And I went, like, this is a big deal, because in other sports, you have fans of the game that don't play that game, who have never played that game. But that's never been our sport. Like, traditionally, our sport, I mean, the gallery originally was made up of people from the tournament who didn't make the cut or didn't make the finals, who would be watching. That was our first gallery. And then our second gallery was other disc golfers from the club. But they were always disc golfers. And now somebody recognizes me who's just a fan of the sport, who just watches Jomez. It's a big deal. So it's exciting. Oh, that looks good. That's totally different, huh?
Yeah, it's much darker.
Oh,
This
like
one
this.
is a shoe cooler, which means that it's fermented over a period. Actually, it's fermented over a shorter period of time than shown
Is it?
before, but it has a more,
Hold on a
I guess you could
second.
call it dramatic aging process.
Okay. All right. Did I cry at my biography movie when I saw it on the big screen? Yes, I did. It was very emotional for me.
So far, you've cried thrice.
Yep, hold on. Yeah, Kendra's going to jump in.
I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Hold on.
So I don't know if you've seen it, but it's very powerful. Like at the end of it, I've seen it more than probably anyone because I made it, and I like almost got teared up seeing it on the screen.
Mhm.
And we watched it twice in back-to-back days and had the same effect both days. So it's not something that it's easy to watch and not be affected by it. Even if you aren't invested in disc golf or Scott Story at all, it's just
No, lots of people that were watching it to film festivals cried, including men. Like they openly wept watching it. I'm not kidding.
if you haven't seen it, it's like, yeah, I made it. And
It's at not just a shot.com, but just seeing it on the big screen was like, it's even emotional. Thank you. It's not just the story itself that was the emotional part. It's that just watching my career, like I'm on the big screen, like even if it's just for a screening for a film festival, like who would have thought, like I didn't see that one coming. It wasn't that many years ago that I didn't see myself being around to even play the game. And now it's like, there's like movies about me. Yeah, it's very emotional. Ladare, sorry. Ladare was installed in 1975 and not ever mentioned in the discussion. A 9-hole course in Louisiana. Hey, do me a favor. There's a person, a historian, who's trying to tabulate this and trying to keep the numbers accurate. Message me in social media, and I will pass along their information to them, and you can send them what information you have. And it's a fact-finding mission. Remember, there's no actual like document, Excel document or something from 1975 that shows when courses went in. It's been detective work. So if there is some information that you are aware of, I'll connect you with the person making the list, and if there's reason to put that on the list, I'm sure he would love to add that, of course. Have I ever been to High Bridge Hills in Wisconsin? Yeah, of course. High Bridge is fantastic. Everyone loves High Bridge. Gizzy Sue. Will I be coming to Portland, Oregon? Yes, I will be there for 2 weeks. I'll be there for the Portland Open and the Beaver State Fling. And thank you. I haven't decided which one to win. I might just win them both, just so I don't have to choose.
How many times would you have Beaver if you won that one? How many times would you have Beaver if you won that one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I played. No, I've only played the Beaver State Fling once. I played in the MP40 division because I was like 45 at the time. But I won. I won that one. I won in a sudden death playoff against Patrick Brown. So I'm technically 1-for-1 at the Beaver State Fling. And yeah, I will be coming to the Portland Open. Definitely. Actually, the last time I was there, I was at the Portland Open 2 years ago, and I got COVID. So I couldn't play. And well, you made the best shot at Eagles Crossing, and you bet on me. Thank you for betting on me, and got one of those 60 discs with the stamp for those who picked me as the winner. Yeah, I'm very flattered that you picked me to win, and that you put $100 down for you picked me. That was a stupid bet. Like, I don't know why you would be so foolish just to think I was going to win. Why would you waste your money that way? I'm going to be honest. You got lucky.
But
By the way,
it also got you a
everything I
mention.
just said was totally true.
It got you a mention in the documentary too.
But you did
Yeah.
get a mention in the documentary, because I talked in the documentary about 15% of the people picked me to win. And that mattered to me because I'm there with like Brody, Galvin, and Simon.
Just recite that whole section of the documentary.
Yeah, and that, yeah, really. And no, but it gave me that helped. When people believe in you, it does help you believe in yourself. So you got mentioned in the documentary. Thank you very much for helping me win. It was still a stupid bet on your part. Wait, SoCal Squatcher. We did school over Crescent Valley High School and played around at Oak Grove. You were 30. That was 33 years ago. Oh, this is Downer, Matt. By the way, you know who Matt was? Matt was, check this out. I'm gonna like dazzle y'all. And I'm gonna brag a bit, Matt. Brag for you. When I was 7 years old and I played T-ball, 7, 8, 9 years old. T-ball. No, wait, that was, 8, 9 years old, T-ball. Matt was the only kid in the entire T-ball league that could actually hit home runs. So I'm going to brag for you, but pretty much you dominated 8 and 9-year-old T-ball in Locker Center. Dude, when you're playing T-ball and you can swing the bat hard enough to hit home runs, you know what you do? You just hit home runs. You played for a team called the Knights, I think. But anyways, yeah, that's
My
true.
T-ball course didn't even have a fence.
He's a baby.
Let's see. Oh, JPL nerds went there too. Now they're getting laid off. Yeah. Hey, want to hear a funny story about JPL? I will tell you a really weird story about JPL, about a person that worked at JPL who was an avid disc golfer. He used to, this guy used to come down. We just knew him as Chillum Dave. He was just a player that would show up at Oak Grove Park sometimes. He would have like torn cutoff jeans, a torn T-shirt, and he would just show up and just smoke hash with everybody. Because back then, sorry to say it, this is what it was like back in 1985 or 1984. And it's the old days, right? But he would show up, and he was just this stoner hippie dude, right? Frizzy hair that wasn't always washed, but big frizzy hair. Nice, super nice guy, but he was just this old hipper stoner hippie dude. So I learned something about Chillum Dave. Turns out he worked at JPL. He was actually, because this is basically pretty personal computers, or almost pretty personal. I think people are still using slide rules in the 80s. He was tasked with figuring out very complex mathematical equations for things related to satellite escape velocities and trajectories and orbits and gravitational pull. And he turns out he was like this super duper high level mathematician at NASA. And when I found that out, I said, but he just dresses like an old hippie. And they're like, yeah, when you got someone that good at math, he gets to wear whatever he wants. So there's all these people apparently at JPL dressed in their suits and their fancy professional outfits, and there's Chillum Dave, math genius, able to do whatever he wants. So yeah, there were some JPL nerds at Oak Grove. Grow the sports accessibility. So check this out. Yes, I will grow the sports accessibility. So, I will. When I say I will help many other hardworking people who are doing this. I'm just started working with a person in British Columbia who has managed to get UDisc to list courses as wheelchair accessible, with the ones that are wheelchair accessible, and also the ones that are accessible, maybe not by wheelchair, but for people. Oh yeah, well, he's using the term cane or the symbol, but it just means people that are less able to get around, not necessarily in a wheelchair, but people who struggle. Limited mobility. And he's going to, all the disc golf courses out there that participate are going to get a notation on their course to show if someone is, say, in a wheelchair or just somewhat disabled, that this is a course that they can play. They don't have to drive out to a course and then go, yeah, it was a waste to drive. It's really neat. So he's doing all the work. I'm going to try to help him.
We also have a channel on the Discord for the people that are interested.
Thank you. If you're interested in disc golf accessibility, or adaptive disc golf or special needs disc golf, go to scottstokely.com/Discord, and there is a channel. There's a thread on there for it's called Blue Power, or no,
it's called adaptive
disc golf. You can look for adaptive disc golf, and you can participate with other people interested in disc golf accessibility. I've also partnered with a person in Toronto who has cracked the code, and I'm about to announce this too. This is not the big announcement Tuesday. This is another announcement. But he's cracked the code about putting disc golf in small spaces in urban areas, at schools, and also that are going to be ADA compliant without taking away from actual traditional disc golf courses, and changing them in a way that the players will find takes away from the course. This is an additional thing he's able to do. It's really, really neat. Oh,
Oh, I had these. Please.
Just no.
Okay.
I don't want to do it wrong. I'm just half distracted. Have I played the second course at Eagles yet? Nope. There's a second course at Eagles.
Is it easier?
Is it easier or harder? I have no idea.
Yeah. I got that.
All right. Hello, brother. Ben Owens, 19275 from El Reno, Oklahoma. I was the one who asked for the 2024 in the bag from you. You're a Gateway fan and have 21 discs in my bag. I have 14 Gateways and 7 disc drafts. I will be doing an in the bag. I love Gateway.
Short list.
It's a short list. I love Gateway. I love Dave McCormick, the owner of Gateway, as much as I love any other man in this sport. He is the salt of the earth human, and one of my best friends. I do throw 2 different Gateway discs currently. I throw the Assassin and the Wizard. But we'll be doing it in the bag because I've got the biggest announcement. I'm telling you all, the biggest announcement I've ever made since I started playing disc golf is coming up on Tuesday. I've never been this excited for anything in disc golf, I don't think. At least not since I was a kid and every day was so exciting to go out and play the way, it is when you're young. But it's just Tuesday, you guys, just checking on Tuesday. And I'm counting on all of you to participate in this because this is going to be, everyone's going to get to be a part of this thing. Oh, no. Are you laughing at the question?
Yeah.
It's amazing how nobody wants relationship advice from me. I give the best relationship advice. I mean, more than likely, I'm going to say, don't get married, break up. That's probably the advice you're going to get, but it'll be good advice. SoCal Squatcher. Nah, you got me confused with another crusher. Well, wait a second. Is this Matt? So because I thought this was maybe the name that Matt was using. So we ditched to go to Oak Grove Park. Who is this? SoCal Squatcher. Please tell me who you are then, if it's not Matt. I just thought this was Matt's screen name. Dan Kilgore. Don, do I have any Tom Monroe stories? Long live number 33. Yeah, of course I do. Tom Monroe, one of the original 7 members of the PDJ Hall of Fame, passed away a couple days ago. And Tom had communicated with me, I had communicated through Colin, that I'm going to be hosting an online memorial for Tom, that Tom gave his blessing to. And it's one of the most beautiful honors given to me is that Tom is going to entrust me with his online memorial. I wasn't the closest person to Tom because I was younger, but I will have guests on such as Captain Snap, Michael Conger, Snapper Pearson, Dan Rodicle. I haven't asked Dan yet, but I'm sure everybody will say yes. But I'm going to bring on a bunch of the old-time legends of the game to tell stories about him. So they have way better stories than me. In fact, I do have one. I'll give you one quick story for Tom. I'll try to make it short, but this is actually a pretty good story. So it's not that short, but it's a good Tom Monroe story. Kind of. The last time I saw Tom was in Huntsville, Alabama, a couple of years ago. Thank you. Oh, it's a different color. This is different tee.
No, it's the same one.
Is it the same one? Oh, it's just.
It's developing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's developing crazy. It's too.
Anyways, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, and I bump into Tom, and we're exchanging stories. Now, Tom's out in the Southeast, a generation before me and older than me, and I'm out I was a kid out on the West Coast. So we played way longer than me, but I was telling the story, we were talking about the Super Puppy, because Dan Sobel at Destiny Discs made the puppy first, and then the puppy, he stopped being made, and he came out with the disc called the Super Puppy. And these are two of the puppy was the first disc designed specifically for disc golf. And a lot of people wondered, well, why did you change the puppy mold? Because the Super Puppy was just a little bit different. But the puppy just vanished from the face of the earth. Anyways, I told Tom, actually, Tom, I got something really interesting to tell you. I'm not 100% sure it's true, but I think it is. I said, from my understanding, Ed Hedrick helped finance Destiny Discs. And Jan Sobel owned Destiny Discs, who was making the puppy, owed Ed some money. So Ed showed up at Jan's house and took the puppy mold and threw it in the back of his truck because Jan owed him money. And apparently, Ed was driving down the freeway and the mold fell out of the back of his truck onto the freeway and got ruined. That's what happened to the puppy mold. So then he had to redo the mold, and it wasn't identical. He made the super puppy. And Tom's jaw dropped, and he says, Scott, how do you know that? How do you know about this? I go, so it's true? And he goes, yeah, completely true. But how do you know? This is not like a real public story. And I said, well, I was in Southern California. I go, a bunch of us heard the story. And he's like, I can't believe that you know about this. So here's my memory of Tom Monroe that matters so much to me. Is that we are a family. We are the old school Frisbee family. Everybody knew each other. So here's this really obscure, fairly confidential story that a kid out in Southern California who played Frisbee golf and an older man in the southeast of the U.S. who played Frisbee golf both knew the same story about the founder of our sport. It was just like this connection between Tom and I that like, yeah, we're like, when it comes down to it, we're family. Like we both know the same story that no one else knows. I don't know. It was just, maybe that means more to me than is of interest, but that's my story about Tom. All right. Am I coming to MVP if I qualify? Or if I don't qualify, I might show up and try to qualify.
Let's talk about sponsorship.
Oh, am I coming to MVP sponsorship?
I'm
Oh.
trying to guess what's the announcement.
Oh, they're trying to guess the announcement. No, it's not. I don't want to say what the announcement is. I don't even want to say yes or no. So then if I say no, and then if you guess, I say I can't answer, that'll give it away. So I'm not even going to give a yes or no. Let's just say it's the biggest thing ever. New course is wooded. New course where?
Eagles Crossing.
Oh, it's wooded. Yeah, I believe it because outside the property is thick woods. I hope it's near the dinosaurs.
Yeah, they said it's like Harmony Bends.
I have not played Harmony Bends. It's one of the only top courses out there that I haven't played. You're not Matt. You're Ralph Hammond. Ralph Hammond from Crescenta Valley High School. And we ditched to play Frisbee golf. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Yeah, I was only at Crescenta Valley High School for like 6 months. I thought you were Matt. I didn't recognize the street name, but I just assumed that we said Crescenta Valley High School. I knew there was someone from my old high school that played. Well, cool, man. I'm happy to know you're still around the sport. That's really neat.
Scott, gift for you.
What is this, a gift?
This is their next tea with sampling.
This is the orange. Unwrap it, and I'll get to smell it. Okay, I'm going to unwrap the next tea. Do I just pull the red thing off?
Yeah, pull the red thing up and then that's the gold filling.
Okay, so I'm unwrapping our next tea at this tea, not ceremony, tea tradition.
Get married.
What? Everybody, the four of us are getting married. Me, Adriana's son, who's in town visiting for a couple days, and our filmmaker Kendra. Apparently, when we leave here, we're all married. I can't open it. No, I don't have nails. All right, I tried to open it.
No, wait, just open it from this side here.
Is there a Disc Golf Hall of Fame? If there is not any chance of you being the hero who makes one, there is a Disc Golf Hall of Fame. It was started in 1993 by LeVon Wolf, and it is, it's a super exciting thing. I'm going to be very excited when I get to be inducted whenever that happens.
Good job, Sam.
Thank you.
You opened
Oh,
that.
that's actually good.
It looked like you didn't try to
I
open
didn't
it.
try to open it. I'm excited to be a part of it when I get to be a part of it. I mean, I'm still out on tour right now, so we'll see when it happens. Because like technically, I'm still out there as a competitive open player. So even though I'm old enough and have been around long enough, and I'm certainly qualified based on my on the field and off the field, I'm also out there competing still. So we'll see what happens. But I hope I would love to make it this year because this year is it would be cool because there's a vlog. It would be like documenting everything. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but it's not up to me. Hopefully it happens sometime while I'm still here. Let's see. No way. You also have a bullet, the aerodynamically adjustable disc outlined by the PDJ.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So wait a second. So the bullet it was outlined by the PDJ because it was too small. But when you say aerodynamically adjustable, are you thinking about the Epic by chance, which was also ruled illegal, or was it the puppy? I mean, was it the bullet? I'm confused because I don't recall the bullet being adjustable. It was kind of stiff, I thought. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm wondering if I'm mistaken about it. All right, Ben says, thanks for the response. Good luck this year. We'd love for you to check out our Route 66 Disc Golf Club in Reno, Oklahoma sometime. I would like to go everywhere sometime. I'm planning on living forever because I don't want to die not having done stuff. So I'll try. Gotta play into the MV Open this time. No more health issues. Too young for that crap. Are you kidding me? Health issues, smell issues. I am invincible. I've never been healthier, and I'm not even going to knock on wood. Okay, I knocked on wood. No, I'm actually super healthy right now. Here we go. Ready? Let's see. I'm going to do a beta test. Okay, there's 32 people in the room with me right now. I'm going to say something, and then I want to see how many people are in the room after I say this. No, 31 people. There's 31 people in the room. There's 31 people in the room, and I'm going to say something. I want to see how many people leave after I say this. It's regarding my health because I've had this problem with health issues the last couple of years. I had E. coli last year. I had E. coli. I got it 4 times. I was in the hospital the year before, and I'm still having some problems related to it. So here's the beta test on my fan base. In 2 weeks, I'm going to have a scope shoved up my wiener. They're going to look at the insides with a camera, and they're going to see. Wait. The numbers went up?
Yeah.
They told their friends.
Yes. Okay. So
Everyone get in here. Scott's talking about his wieners.
So anyway, no, it went back down to 32. So my test is to see how many people. So now down to 30. See, by the way, this is all going to be in the vlog. I am going to get as much of this on film as I can for the vlog. Obviously, they won't be able to show everything, but the procedure, I'm going to talk you through it. Hey, look at one of the things I've been doing down to 28. Okay, good. Now that's more like it. Thank you. 29. So one of the things I'm doing is with this vlog and with my journey into disc golf is I'm also documenting the aging process. And so the things that happen to me as I get older, I'm not going to shy away from any of those because I have an older audience that can relate to the things I'm going through because they're going through them too. And if you're younger, hopefully you'll be able to relate because the older people in your life are also going through these things. So I won't, I can't bring the camera in while the scope is being used, but I will document the whole process and I will share it with everybody, even though it's kind of embarrassing, but I don't care.
But your health is relevant to your success this season, so it's important.
I think this is going to be the most hydrated I've been in my entire life.
Yep. So Gizzy Sue has a super puppy. Hey, well, you got a piece of history right there and you still throw it. The super puppies are great. They fly straight. They're wonderful. Here's yellow with rules in black. Yeah. The first rules of disc golf, Jan Sobel put them on the disc. The rules of the game were actually printed on the disc so you knew how to play. And they weren't the best written rules. But that's really neat.
Also, Gizzy Sue might be the best name.
You took it to Port Arthur and saw me play and someone offered $100 for it. In 1995, they offered you $100. Yeah, it's a precious. Okay, y'all want to hear just the most amazing, heartwarming story? Okay, so now we did the beta test on how many people I lose talking about scopes going in my wiener with cameras. Now I'm going to tell you a heartwarming story, and let's see if I lose people by being too sappy, because this is a beautiful disc golf story. So I wrote about this in my book. Jan Sobel, the owner of Destiny Discs, a company named after his daughter, Destiny, So he named the company Destiny after his daughter Destiny. Jan Sobel, I said he was so dedicated to the sport in the early days that he would run discs in the morning, and then he would come to Oak Grove Park, put a blanket by hole one with some stacks of discs, and sell discs at the course in order to just make enough money to keep his head above water. So this is how dedicated this man was to the sport and trying to start this disc golf business. So I didn't think much of it. I thought enough about it to put in my book, but I never really gave the whole story much thought. Just that, wow, that's someone dedicated from 35 years ago, 38 years ago. Well, it turns out in the last couple months, I've connected with his daughter, Destiny. So Destiny Sobel, Jan's daughter, through various reasons, we wound up connecting online. We've now talked on the phone. Her and her husband are, living their best life, but I've gotten to know her a little bit. And in getting to know her, I go, Jan, your dad was in my book, 3 different places. And I sent her photographs of the books, including the story of how he used to sit there and sell discs in the afternoon. And I talked to her on the phone after that, and she said, Scott, I was a little girl, and I used to go into the garage with my dad, and I used to help him hot stamp discs. And we would hot stamp discs because he would then put them in a box, and he would tell me, I need to go to the park to sell some discs so I can buy groceries. And I went, oh my God. Like, that's why he was selling discs at the park. Find out 35 years later from his daughter who told the other side of the story. Let's see if we lose anybody, because that's a great story that I just heard just recently. But beautiful, right? I mean, it just adds another layer to the history of our sport. No, we didn't lose anybody? Nah. I thought you guys were going to get all mad at me for being all such a softie. That's why you started a disc golf club where I teach, to get you outside. I think outside is good. Like, I think in the modern world, I think getting outside is something you almost have to.
Be intentional.
You have to be intentional about getting outside sometimes. I have to make myself. Like, I always have work to do on my phone. I always have. Like, I don't get time to watch Netflix shows. I don't get time to read. It's like, it's all work at this point. Not complaining. I got a great life, but it's all work. And if I wasn't forcing myself to get outside to play and practice, like weeks would go by without me doing it. So I'm glad you're making it outside. Yeah, I think, it was stiff. Take a look at it, dig it out. But I'm pretty sure that the Epic was the one that you adjusted it by folding from Aerobee, Alan Adler's company.
What's the one that they make into a ball and throw it at stuff?
Oh, that's the blowfly.
There's a few different networks.
Are there a few different ones that can fold up in half?
That koi?
Koi.
Yeah.
Oh, the koi. Yeah, the koi. Yeah, we threw the koi at
Flies pretty well.
That one was what they did, the putting indoor.
the indoor putting championship next to the Picasso, or the Picasso's lever.
And a lot of sculpture and stuff too. And
Yep.
it was very,
Hey, last chance for relationship advice, everybody. I'm telling you, I could save you. Hey, brother, how about the X-Clone? Whatever happened to that mold? I used to have one, but in the Badlands in 303 a few years back. Oh, you lost it in the Badlands. Yeah, it just got discontinued. Just there's more popular molds out there, and honestly, I don't know why discs get discontinued, other than old molds take up space. Thank you. Old molds take up space. You got to run them. Even if you run 1,000 of a disc, that's a ton of shelf space that disc takes up. And then if you have 20 discontinued molds, then you need 20,000 discs. You practically need a small warehouse just for discs that aren't selling well. So I think they just, at some point, they're just not worth making anymore.
I think they should do a new run of old discs and then have the pros play with them.
I think so too. What do I see for the future of disc golf? So disc golf will be the most popular sport in the world. Anybody disagree with that?
and what?
It'd be
Thank
silly
you.
for us to disagree. park.
Okay. Oh, that's the orange, yeah. So that is good. That's cool. I will explain why. That's really neat. Now, I will explain why it would be the most popular sport in the world. So, I'm not saying because the flight of the disc is so beautiful or all these things that we all enjoy. I'm going to give you a mathematical reason why disc golf will be the number one sport in the world. So, everything ball golf offers, disc golf offers as well, right? The challenge of overcoming personal obstacles, the getting outside in the sun, the playing with friends, getting away from the kids, getting out in nature, whatever reason why ball golf is popular, every single one of those without exception, disc golf offers as well. So disc golf offers everything ball golf does. But the difference is that disc golf also offers additional things ball golf doesn't. It uses less park space, it's less environmentally damaging, it has more interesting and varied terrain. You can play around in 2 hours after work instead of 5 hours on a Sunday. But the biggest thing is money, the barrier to entry. It's less expensive to play. So you don't lose a single thing from disc golf to ball golf, but from ball golf to disc golf, but you gain a bunch of things. So by every metric, disc golf has the potential, since it offers everything ball golf does, to be as popular as ball golf. Except here's the thing. Ball golf, you could argue, is the most popular sport in the world. Hear me out. When I say the most popular sport in the world, is that ball golf is only accessible to a small fraction of the population. But among the people who can afford to play it, in other words, among the people who ball golf is accessible to, the percentages of those people who play golf is higher than the percentage of any sport played in any other demographic. Like soccer is the most popular sport in the world because it's accessible to 8 billion people. Ball golf's not. But percentage-wise, the percentage of people that soccer is accessible to is actually not that big, percentage-wise, compared to ball golf, if that makes sense. Well, disc golf, because it is accessible to more people, and there's things happening that I'm actually working on to bring disc golf to developing countries. Once disc golf is financially accessible to everybody in the world, there's no reason why the percentages of people that play disc golf aren't at a minimum as high as the people who play ball golf that it's accessible to. Just that we will be accessible to 8 billion people. Ball golf is accessible to 50 million. So percentage-wise, if we keep that percentage, it will be the biggest sport in the world. Thank you. So that's my theory. 2028 LA Olympics, I think it's going to be part of the Olympics in 2028. I think it's probably a reasonable chance because I think it's 2024. It's going to be introduced, right?
I think so, yeah. 20, is it 24 or is it 20? No, it's 20.
24 or
It's that
28.
one. 28.
Yeah, it'll be in the Olympics. But the thing is that disc golf is far bigger and played by more people than many sports in the Olympics. It's just not on the radar yet because the Olympics is a big, giant political organization that getting into has challenges of being part of a major organization. It's just not a matter of, oh, look how many people play, you get to be part of it. There's a lot of hurdles involved. I've never run an organization the size of the IOC, so I can't even relate to how hard it would be to run that organization, but I know it's tough to get in. But we're big enough.
I feel like the good thing is there's so much international interest to disc golf.
Yeah, the international is enough. Well, that was one of the barriers to disc golf is how many countries has it competed in? For the longest time, I forget what it was, but I think to be in the Olympics, you had to be played competitively in something like 72 countries. Winter Olympics was like 24 countries because there's a lot of countries that Winter Olympics don't apply to. So you didn't have to be in that many countries for a winter sport to get in, like curling. But with Summer Olympics, it's a little bit harder. It'll be in.
And we're about to pass the 50-year mark for the sport too.
Yeah.
So there should be some pomp and stuff.
There'll be some stuff. Yeah, we'll be around for the 50-year mark. That's going to be happening in a year and a half. I'll be at Oak Grove Park for it.
All right, we've got 3 more questions and we have to wrap it up.
3 more questions, then we got to wrap everything up.
We're on our way out. Thank you to West China Tea House for.
Yeah, thank you to West China Tea House for letting us shoot here. Thank you to Eddie, Adriana's son, for running this tea tradition. Thank you to Adriana and Kendra for monitoring the computer. I get to have all the fun talking to all you guys, but everyone else made this happen. Jesse says, hello, Scott. I read your book. It was a great read. As a new player, it was a good introduction to the history of the sport. I really appreciate that so much. I really mean that. That was a big, important thing to share, and I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you. All right. Thank you for being ever so inspiring, brother. I can't wait to see what you further do with this game, and thank you for everything you've done. Well, thank you for noticing. I appreciate it. I love being appreciated. I have no problem taking praise because I do work very, very hard. And so I work hard, and when people notice it, it makes me feel good. I'm not some flawless human that doesn't enjoy a pat on the back. Makes me feel good. Thank you. All right. How far can I throw the dimple? About 200 feet. Right. So I'll explain where the dimple is. So, thank you. So the dimple was one of the discs made by Destiny Discs, Jan Sobel. Jan took a disc that the top and the bottom of the disc was covered with basically dimples like a golf ball. And it's so funny because people laughed at Jan. They're like, oh my God, that's so, because it didn't fly that well. And they're like, oh my God, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. It's like, shut up. The thing is that he tried something new. Like, it cost a fortune to make a new mold. And he created a new mold with an idea. For all we know, the dimple could have been better, and it flew farther or more true, and it would have been great, and everybody would have called him a genius. So he had the balls to try something, and it didn't work out. I love and respect the man for trying that. But they didn't fly very well. The dimple was not. Like, nobody put the dimple in their bag and played competitive rounds with it. But it's cool. Will you have any clinics in South Carolina this year? You live in Augusta? I hope so. I really want to make it to Augusta. So I won't go down this whole rabbit hole right now, but I actually do pro wrestling. I'm a heel manager. I'm a bump-taking heel manager. When I first met Adriana, one of the first things I showed her when I met her was a photograph of me with the outline of a steel chair very clearly displayed across my back. And I told her, hey, if you're going to travel with me, you're going to have to get used to seeing me hit with steel chairs, because I liked independent pro wrestling. And because of COVID, I couldn't do wrestling. Well, the best wrestler I ever managed, like Cowboy James Barrett, I managed him to the Colorado Springs Wrestling Middleweight Championship. And he is running a wrestling organization in Augusta and really wants me to come down and do some shows down there with him. And so if I do, not only will I do a clinic in Augusta, but I will definitely be wrestling while I'm down there, or managing. Man, these guys won't let me wrestle. They don't want me to get hurt. I say it's because they care. They say it's because I'm their sugar daddy. Seems how everybody's income is dependent on me not being injured. They don't want me to get injured, but I'm telling myself it's because they just care about me.
No, it's definitely because we care about you.
You care?
Why do we care?
Yeah, they care about me, but why do they care about me? But anyways, the point is that so I might not take a chair shot to the head, but I can still take one to the back. Back's not going to hurt.
That's debatable.
Wait, sorry. Take that back. It really does hurt, but I won't get injured taking a chair shot to the back. What? I'm positive. It's only a steel chair.
Last question.
All right. Let's see. Is there any type of shot that requires a type of disc that isn't in production yet? Oh my God. That is the most perfect leading question ever. I would say there are 2 types of shots out there. that as of right this second, nobody has announced producing discs for, that until someone makes these two specific discs, oh, thank you. Until someone makes these two specific discs, nobody's going to be able to be confident making these two specific types of shots. If only somebody would produce these two discs. All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate y'all joining for the tea, not a ceremony, the tea tradition. I really do love all you guys. You guys are my extended family. I mean that. And look for that announcement on Tuesday, or join my Discord server, scottstokely.net/Discord, to get the announcement on Monday.
Thanks again once more for West China Tea
Thank
House
you,
in Austin,
West China Tea House in Austin. Thank you very much for letting us stream. Appreciate y'all.
and staying in a little later.
And they let us stay late. I was having too much fun.
Yeah.
We closed the joint. Oh my God. Like, okay, look at this. I am so sophisticated that I don't close the local bar. I close the local tea house. That's how
Goals.
sophisticated I am. All right, thanks everyone.